Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life, in the crazy life that is the digital asset space. What is going on, my friends? Good evening. Happy, what is this, Wednesday? Wednesday to you. Generational Wealth Wednesday. What's going on, my friends? Yeah, new to the channel, new to XRP, great content. Thanks. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you being here today. Yeah, Generational Wealth Wednesday. I was going to go over some stuff. I thought about going over some stuff for credit, and I said, you know what, I'm not going to do that. And it's funny because I needed a little bit of some inspiration today, especially the last couple of days. Man, it was some crazy stuff going on with the SBA. Well, I got to tell you, interesting stuff. But we got everything cleared up. But yeah, so 2.5 days of madness. So I watched for inspiration. I said, you know what? I'm going to watch, what is it? Banking on Bitcoin. Did I title the stream the right way? Maybe I didn't. But I'm going to watch Banking on Bitcoin. So I did watch that. And yeah, it definitely gave me some definite inspiration and perspective of where we are today, really, when we think about it. So I'm going to cover that. We're going to talk about that. So I tried to title this Banking on Bitcoin, Cryptonaires, XRP Army News Community Channel, plus you equals history. And that's literally where we are, guys. I got to tell you, to see a young Charlie Shrem, see a young Barry Silber, to see a young Jed McCaleb, like, I remember years ago when I first watched Banking on Bitcoin, I didn't know who any of those guys were. I didn't know who any of those people were, none of them. Now, when I think about it today, I mean, saw a fairly young Jeremy Allaire, Roger Ver, just, in a lot of, he shows up in the movie, 3, 4, or 5 times. He doesn't have a line. He doesn't. Not even, hey, right? Not a line, but he shows up in the movie 3 or 4 or 5 times. I just got to think, what's going on, bro? XRP, good to see you, my friend. See, thanks for the shout out. Thanks for that shout out after you took time out of your schedule for us to chat. Oh, no worries, brother. It's my pleasure. Actually, my friend, pleasure, my friend. Good to see you tonight, brother. Good to see you tonight for sure. Right? And so, to see Roger Ver looks young now, right? I guess he's in his 40s, maybe, or approaching 40. But to see a young Roger Ver, and just to think, like, where we are today, like, guys, if you haven't seen Banking on Bitcoin, you have to see it. You literally have to watch that tonight. I ended up buying it this time because I wanted to have what I think is going to be a part of history. And I want to be able to share that with my daughter, with my grandson, my grandchildren, and just kind of share that and just, kind of imagine what it was like. Try to imagine what it was like being in the space back then, much less today, but trying to be back in the space back then. I mean, bit instant, Charlie Shrem's bit instant. So anyway, guys, we're going to talk about that because I think it's important for us to understand where we really are and the fact that we are literally. Is this on? Let me turn this one on. That we are literally a part of history. And when I think about Cryptonaires and what that's going to look like, kind of giving it's kind of giving a broader perspective on the space and what that's going to look like. And, we're going to be part of that in some way, right? Didn't you think about the XRP Army News Community Channel and what Scott is doing? I have to tell you, I absolutely love. I told him this the first time we talked a couple months ago, that I absolutely love that he was doing this. And I wanted him, I hoped that he would go deeper with it and continue doing it, kind of despite, despite the roadblocks that you can get when you're looking to do something, when you're looking to get community involvement, right? That pushback or the lack of responses can be deflating if you're not focused, what your blinders are, and continue to push through and work with the willing, as we like to say when we train, when we do our training, right? Work with the willing, right? And so so I'm really, really excited about it. I think that is going to be one of the bigger things in terms of a picture for all of us, especially if he takes it deeper, right, and really goes to the heart of an XRP holder, right? It really gets to the heart of an XRP hodler and the things that they have had to go through, if you will, right? If he does that, if he digs deep. Right now, he's kind of, he's got the in the moments and times, and he has interviewed some few people for about a half hour or so, and that's cool. But I'm really hoping that he'll go deeper and dig into the hearts of the XRP hodler, because you think about the challenges that we have had as a community, right? And I think that it is it's a fight unto itself, right? Because we may not be Ripple the company, but we feel as though we're part of it, right? Their pains are our pains, right? Their growing pains are our growing pains. Their scrutiny are our scrutiny, right? As XRP hodlers in a lot of ways, being invested in the company and not just the digital asset. So I hope that he goes deep into that. But I got to tell you, I do want to cover a couple of things. Yeah, XRP Joe, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Yeah, I am on board with Scott's message and channel concept. Yeah, bro, I absolutely love it. I think it's a genius, and I think it's going to be great. Like Crypto Eddie said, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, I think it's going to be a hugely important thing for people to see. Because listen, there's a message behind 1,000 days or nearly 1,000 days of sideways or down, and a community, the XRP community, growing stronger during those times. There's something to be said about that, because Ripple, the company, and its software and the digital asset XRP is history in the making. That is the bottom line. When you find out that Chris Larson moved 500 million XRP. I mean, it was really 499 and 99 something, but let's round it up to 500. He moved 500 million XRP. 500 million. And it costs 12 drops, which is about 0.0000, I think another 5 zeros, 1, 2. Might be 4 zeros and 1, 2. Think about that. Think about that amount of money moved. How many you got there? You got 4? 4 zeros? 5? Yeah, 4. Right? Think about that. That is significant. I don't know what the value of 500 million XRP at 23 or 24 cents, but it's a lot. It's a lot. That was the word. It was 500 million XRP moved. And it's funny too, because he shared that in a tweet, right? Right? Thank you, XRP Joe. I appreciate that, brother. Just shot a tweet or stream. If you have the time, do the same to grow the channel. Thank you, XRP Joe. XRP Joe has a channel too as well on YouTube. You guys got to definitely go check out XRP Joe on YouTube. He's definitely doing his thing over there, right? And think about the content. It's not just the content creators, right? It's the people in the community, right? It's the people who don't necessarily have a channel. Maybe they do a blog, right? Maybe like Hodo or Galvatron. Think about the people that are participating in Sentiment, right? Or taking advantage of the Coil platform early. What's so early is amazing. I'm telling you guys, you're gonna flip out. When you see a young Roger Ver, a young Charlie Shrem, the guy was 23 years old. And when you see a young Barry Silbert from Digital Currency Group, it's like, whoa, what's going on, crypto biggest douche? My friend, how are you, bro? Good to see you. It's massive. And again, the Cryptonaires, a lot of people from the community, from the XRP community, right, helped to get that off the ground, right? And to see what that's going to look like, I saw some of the previews. It looks like it's going to be outstanding. To think that we're part of that, right? And that's something that's going to be part of history. But I got to tell you, I really do think that the XRP Army News community channel is going to be significant. So if he reaches out, if Scott reaches out to you guys, I strongly ask you to strongly consider giving up some of your time so that we can get to know you a little bit more as well. I know I did mine day before yesterday, I think. I finally had a chance to get together with him, and I did the moment in time with it. I already did the interview, but I did the moment in time. I did the interview a couple months ago, maybe. But I did the moment in time the other day. And so definitely, because you got to think about what we're doing. You really, really do. And I'm not suggesting that you don't diversify into an entire digital asset space. Because I do. So I'm not saying be beholden to one digital asset. But the fact that you an XRP hodler, I think is significant for this space, because I think that what Ripple is doing with the digital assets is going to make history. I really do believe that. And speaking of Chris Larson moving 500 million, do you know that he said he tweeted out he moved that 500 million to NYFID? Remember that? Remember that NYFID? Let me see if I can find that. Make sure I can find it. Yeah, so he moved it to NYDIG. I said FID. Yeah. NYDIG, New York Dig, right? Chris Larson did that. 500 million. His tweet is interesting. Let me find the tweet first, and then I'll share my screen. He lets us know. Again, look, you guys, I don't know. All right, so as some of you may have noticed, let me share the screen, because he actually, I don't know. As some of you may have noticed. Yeah, Chris. Yeah, of course. This is from Chris Lawson the other day, September 22nd. As some of you may have noticed, I moved an XRP wallet to NYDIG. I've known the founders for a while and am impressed by their security and top-notch institutional standards. This is truly custody 2.0. He says to check them out, right? Which is interesting, but that's not really the kind of the big deal that I wanted to share with you guys. But he did that, and we discovered how much it was, of course, because it's the XRP community. So of course they're going to find out how much it was, and it was 499,990, that type of deal. So we rounded up to 500,000. But let me share what I want. Another thing from James Roll shared something with us, big time community member and fan of the channel. What's going on, James? We appreciate everything that you do, my friend. So where is that at? Make sure I find it. He tagged me in this tweet here. So let me find that. Remember NYDIG, right? And I know a couple of people who did some videos on NYDIG. DAI did a video on them. Crypto Eddie did a video on them. Right, right. And so when Chris Larson does a thing, I think BK did one on them as well, right? What's going on here? So NYDIG announces senior executive appointments. This is the same NYDIG Chris Larson just talked about. Right? And so here's the article here, and I have to share the screen again. Holy cow. I want to share this with you guys. Because first of all, there's a reason why Chris Larson shared it. Right? Where is it? There it is. There's a reason why Chris shared it, I believe, right? I mean, it's his business. He could have kept them to himself, right? So maybe he figured out we were going to find out anyway, and he decided to share it. I'm not sure, but in any case, here it is. So NYDIG announces senior executive appointments. 3 former Wall Street executives and a veteran fintech analyst join rapidly growing firm as it continues to expand access to Bitcoin and other digital assets for institutions and high net worth individuals and banks. NYDIG, a leading provider of investment and technology solutions for Bitcoin and other digital assets, has hired former Goldman Sachs partners Ronnie Wexler and Tejas Shah and managing director Eric Kramer and veteran fintech analyst Greg, oh man, I can't pronounce that name, Chipolaro, to join the firm in executive roles. Goldman Sachs, right? Now, I just had an article about something Goldman Sachs was doing. Goldman Sachs just hooked up with the people from Volante, a Ripple partner. Isn't that interesting? Let me share that one with you guys, and then I'll come back and check out the chat. Volante just hooked up with Goldman Sachs. Volante is a Ripple partner. Cloud payment processor Volante teams with Goldman Sachs on digital transaction banking. I find it very, 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 very interesting that people are leaving top places like Goldman Sachs and getting into this nascent asset class. These were like senior partners moving over to this NYDIG. Yeah. So Volante Technologies, the fintech software company, announced Wednesday it is collaborating with Goldman Sachs USA to provide the payments platform for the bank's digital transaction service. It also features VolPay, the processor of domestic and international payments. And my understanding is that the VolPay is like an ODL, uses ODL. If I'm to understand it correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe so. Isn't that interesting? Goldman Sachs. First of all, people leaving Goldman Sachs and getting into the digital asset space. Goldman Sachs is realizing that, look, the writing is on the wall. Right? Because I believe the VolPay, bro, XRP, I believe that's ODL. I believe. I'll have to check it and see. What's going on, William Leather? Good to see you. Lady Enigma is in the building. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. Miss 416 Crypto is in the building. Bro, XRP says Siege. If Goldman Sachs is in on our XRP, you know what time it is. Yes, indeed. I know, bro. I know. So just think about that. Rasheen B. Wealthy is here. What's going on, Rasheen? Good to see you. Good to see you tonight, right? Not Purple Kush. What's up, my friend? I did not watch that debate. Right. And so, you know, it's funny. I was listening to a video with Trademan from the CEO of SBI Ripple Asia. I forget his first name now. But boy, oh boy. He really spells out where we are in this space, you know, laying down the infrastructure the same way, in the same way that HTTP and HTML was laid out back in the day. And that's where we are. We haven't even really got to the companies that are going to really be building something up upon the infrastructure. Not really. We haven't even gotten into that phase yet, right? Can you imagine? We haven't even gotten to that phase yet. But what I wanted to ask you guys is that, do you realize where you are in this moment in time in history? You, my friends, are the young Charlie Shrem, the young Barry Silbert, right? The young Eric Voorhees, right? You understand that? You guys are the young Roger Veres, like, especially for XRP, especially for XRP. That's where we are. That's where we are. And that's why I'm so grateful that not only Cryptonaires, but that XRP Army News community channel is doing what he's doing. Because first of all, he has some mad production skills, absolutely mad, and mad, really, really, really good marketing skills as well. And to highlight this community, I think it's so important. And I am definitely encouraging him to go deep into the community, to really, really go deep into the community. This community is widely known in the digital asset space, right? And we do have good content creators, without question, but we have overall, we have a great community. And I hope that it continues. I hope it blossoms into a stronger community and doesn't turn into, these isolated silos, if you will, within the community. I hope that doesn't happen. And I hope that people don't kind of promote that, because we don't need that in the community. We really don't. And so that's why I really love what XRP Army Community News, XRP Army News Community Channel is doing. Definitely go check that out, guys. I have to tell you, it's pretty significant what he was doing. But do you guys do you realize, I mean, I didn't even know when I watched Banking on Crypto, banking on Bitcoin, who Jed McCaleb was. And there he is sitting at the table. This dude created Mt. Gox, Jed McCaleb. Jed McCaleb, there he is. There he was on banking on Bitcoin, sitting at a table with his, I believe that to be his wife, talking about the creation of Mt. Gox, the thing that got hacked or something happened to $500 million in Bitcoin. Just, it's gone. Crazy. There he was. There was Jed McCaleb sitting there talking about it on Banking on Crypto. It's like, whoa. Just thinking about that. And I just think, as a community, I hope you see 5 and 10 years from now, 15 years from now, trust me, people are going to talk about this community. They're going to talk about this community, right? Because we're part of history. We really are. We're part of history. And the longer that we can continue to hodl strong, have faith, and stay positive, it just adds to the overall digital asset space. But the XRP community is going to be part of history, a good part of history. It's interesting. It's an interesting thing, and it's really humbling. Watching that Banking on Bitcoin was really, really humbling in a lot of ways. Just kind of, can you imagine this? It was this guy on there named Nick Banos, and this guy is just, he's going out and trying to become an entrepreneur in Bitcoin in 2012, 2014. He sets up an office in a shop. It's called Bitcoin Center, right next to the New York Stock Exchange. Bitcoin Center. This is before, bit licenses were created in New York. This is before that. This guy sets up shop because he believes in Bitcoin and what it can do in its technology. I'm like, wow, that is absolutely amazing. What's going on, Yad Man, Crypto Trade? What's going on, bro? Good to see you tonight. You know, what's going on, Raphael the Moore? Good to see you tonight. What's up, Dubian 2? Is Alex Yeet in the building? Alex Yeet is in the building. What's going on, bro? What's going on with you? Right? That's where we are. And I hope that you know that. And that's just the, this is why it's so hugely important to recognize where we are. And I think personally to be careful in the lanes and the avenues that we participate in this new asset class. If we go down that DeFi space and then get hurt because the market is sideways and has been sideways for almost 1,000 days, and then now you're out because you went to try to chase a yam or a sushi or some other crazy kind of thing, right? And then you're out of the space, and then that would be so horrible to see. This is why I talk about Celsius so much, because it allows us to stay in hodl mode, earn some interest, act and think like financial institutions without all that major crazy risk. Without all that major crazy risk. And we need this community to grow and to be able to grow safely. Guys, do me a favor. There's 54 people in the stream. Do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already. We always try to get just as many likes as we have people viewing the stream. I would definitely appreciate that. YouTube definitely appreciates that without question. Yeah, Dubian too. This is what I think is going to happen ultimately with XRP. XRP will be for the banks and institutions, and Stellar will serve as a stable coin for the unbanked. Yeah, because that pilot program that they did with IBM was about in those emerging markets, right? Really tapping into the unbanked. Yeah. XRP says, I love yams and sushi. Isn't that interesting? I do too. I don't love the digital asset side of yams and sushi. Yeah, Mark. Well, Celsius doesn't, but they are insured, right? They use fire blocks, and they are going to support the spot drop. They're just not supporting it yet. They're still working with them. Right? They just we're working in communications and working with them. Celsius is very, very cautious in their approach to accepting platforms, and they want to do a thorough search, make sure that it's absolutely 100% safe, that the people that they're going to work with have good intentions and the like. So, but that is the word from Alex himself, is that they're in discussions with them, feeling more and more comfortable with them. And he said flat out, you want to see who's going to have the most spark, it's going to be me. So we'll still see. Right. But yeah, so that's it's just an interesting place to be. I appreciate you guys smashing the like button for me. I appreciate that big time. And here's the thing, Firefly 2020. How are you, my friend? T-Med says she's gonna handle. I'm going to name my next pet Hodl. That's right. Exodus is in talks as well to support it. They're in discussions right now. I saw that. That was my first wallet. That was my first wallet, but that's where we are. And it's important for us to hodl strong so that we can have, the wins. So that we can have the wins. I don't know about the locked up Harley, good to see you tonight, my friend. I think what you'll have to do is just to be safe, right? You got to message them, right? So you want to message them in plenty of time for them to unlock anything that's locked in terms of extra collateral, any collateral, if you have it in collateral, I don't think that they will do that. But if you have extra in collateral, they will. But you gotta have them to unlock it, right? So sometimes you get a collateralized loan at 28 cents, it goes down to 20 cents. You got to send more XRP now to meet the difference or more of that digital asset. But then it goes back up to 28 cents and beyond, but you still have that other XRP locked up. If that's the one you're talking about, Harley, you're going to have to email them a message to make sure they unlock that. But if it's in a collateralized loan, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, but I will find out. I would imagine, yes, because you still hold it, but I will definitely find out. Hey, Maria, how are you? Good to see you. Absolutely. Yeah. Big fan of the Exodus wallet. That's the first, one of my first wallets coming in to this space was Exodus. So, but guys, this is, again, the thing is so important for us to be able to hodl strong and practice sound financial investments and found strong financial principles in this new asset class. That is the challenge, because I know the yams and the sushis and the yearn finances are going to be very, very, very tempting. They're going to be very, very tempting. I know it. Yeah, absolutely. You can also reach out to me, Mark, as well, because I'm an ambassador for Celsius, so I can definitely get any questions or concerns or anything that you have answered for sure. So definitely reach out to me. But Dubian too, I think you're right on that about the unbanked or the underbanked, and as far as Stellar Lumen is concerned. Firefly 2020. Very true. Great point. We are so near to a new financial system, and we are bleeding against the dollar. It's very surreal. It really, really is. And listen, this is the moment in time. I'm just telling you, it is. And the more I watched David Schwartz earlier today, and I think I did a video on it when he did that video on this, stable coin proposal to be had or done on the XRPL ledger. I just gotta. You want to talk? You want to talk generational wealth? You want to talk generational wealth? And he says that you can create anything on there and take and use it. But he said the obvious thing is stable coins. There it is for you right there, Mark. Right? Have you guys seen that video? I gotta tell you. Not with Celsius. They don't execute immediately on Celsius per XRP. Celsius they don't want you to. They have not had a margin call. They have not liquidated anyone, rather, is what I should say. They give you so many options. They give you so many options. Right? I mean, I don't know, 3 or 4 emails. They give you the option to add more of that digital asset that you have locked up, or to just pay down it if you have that, or to use some other stuff that you have that can meet it on the platform, right? So you can use USDC, you can use other assets if you want. They don't want to liquidate you. So it's just a matter of communicating, saying, well, I may not have more XRP, but I have some USDC, or I have some this, or can you just take it, just take the straight money, whatever. They don't want to liquidate you. And I love how they work with you, with people on that. You're welcome, Mark. What's going on, Jackie33? I haven't seen you in a while, miss. Good to see you tonight. Pay me money back is in the building. What's up, my friend? And I'm not suggesting that anyone, go out and do a collateralized loan or anything like that, right? I'm not suggesting that, but I am What I'm saying is it's a very, very friendly platform for the depositors. They're not the banks, and they're certainly not the Nexos and the BlockFis of the world, who liquidating has just been a nightmare. Right. And so this is where this is what I am with you guys. I hope that that you kind of get that this is, again, you're the young Charlie Shrem and the young Barry Silbert. If you haven't seen Banking on Bitcoin, I encourage you to go check it out. That's where we are. See young Eric Voorhees, Charlie Shrem at 23, to see a young Roger Ver, like I said before, just absolutely amazing. And the XRP community, just think about the bigger picture and what we've been through and what the potential of the ILP and what Ripple can do with the ILP, right? And gifting it to the W3C, the potential of the XRPL ledger, the potential of XRP, the ledger that is absolutely massive with this decentralized exchange. And the fact that stable coins and other things can be created, built, put on the ledger is massive. It really, really, really is. And the fact that we are here as a community, we're in a lot of ways, we have a lot to do. I don't want to say a lot, but we're part of, the ecosystem of XRP growing, right? And that's a pretty cool deal. And the stories behind it, right? What about the stories of people that were fortunate enough to get in before 20 cents, maybe 10 cents, 5 cents, and rode XRP up? Where's that story? Rode it all the way up to $3 and change and didn't cash out, didn't take any profit, and rolled it all the way back down. That's a lot of that going on. Yeah, Jackie 33. I did. I purchased a significant amount on Coinbase, but in USDC, and I gotta tell you, the wait. Well, first of all, we had some challenges with the SBA. We had to do some more verification. I don't know why, but we did. So they froze our accounts for 2 days, 2.5 days, almost 3 days. So I don't even know if they contacted me today. Yeah, it was before the close of business, and so now that's 2 or 3 more days that I have to wait for everything to clear. Because they hold on to it. Because I think I did that through. Yeah, I did at the ACH, and so yeah. So, but that's what I'm looking. That's my next move, Jackie 33. To take advantage of that. We have that laying around. I'm like, nope. We're not going to have that laying around. We're not going to have that laying around in a bank. That's not going to work. So we're putting it on there. That's our next move. That's right, Mark. It's a great point. The massive potential of Flare, I'm telling you, it is a game changer. It's a game changer. It really, really is. And never forget that interview where he did with the CEO did with Crypto Eddie, when he pointed out the genius behind Ripple and what they're looking to do. But he just, from a CEO's standpoint, he said something that I think is so important. He says, yeah, but that's going to take a while. Flare is something that they can do quicker, and they can make happen faster. They can provide utility for XRP quicker, right? Because there's not a bunch of regulatory clarity that they have to wait upon for, right? So when he said that, when I heard the CEO, I forget his name now, when he mentioned that and said, yeah, but it's going to take longer. So it's going to take a little longer, right? It's really important to note that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Jackie 33, if it's not, but but I'm planning on it. I'm planning on it. I'm prepared for it. Tell Celsius to offer direct deposit. I know. Yeah, it's going to be really, really interesting to see. They're going to be providing different ways to earn yield in different verticals, and it's going to be outside of digital assets. So I'm going to be really, really curious to see how that's going to work. Charlie Shrem. What's up, Barry Prasad? Good to see you. Oh, really? Debian 2. The satellites which were in orbit working over Stellar blockchain, I heard, so that makes sense for the unbanked. Wow. Yeah, man, absolutely. Celsius is genius in motion. You know, but guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here very, very shortly. But I just wanted you guys to think about that. Yeah, I didn't have enough room to put equals, you equals history. So when you think about banking on Bitcoin, when you think about Cryptonaires and what that's going to look like from a broader perspective, right? And then you think about the XRP Army News community channel and those moment in times and the interviews that Scott is doing. We're creating history. We really, really are. We're part of history. We really are. And something like that channel is going to be massive. Like I said, 10 years and 15 years and 20 years from now. By the way, think about this for a second. Think about the people that were in that movie, right? They hadn't had their 27. They hadn't had their 2017, 2018 moment yet. Barry Silbert didn't have the 2018 moment yet. Charlie Shrem didn't have it. Eric Voorhees didn't have it. Roger Ver didn't have it. Right? And Nick Spanos, the dude who, he had to close shop because he couldn't meet the requirements for that first bit license that Ben Lawsky and Fern put together. So this Nick Spanos guy who put everything, he threw paying $50,000 a month. I think that was, I don't know where that $50,000 a month was coming from, but that's what he was risking and putting that thing together. They hadn't had that 2017 they didn't have that bull run yet when that movie was done. When they went through that, when Charlie Shrem went to jail, they didn't have that yet. When Lawsky called Jeremy Allaire and from Circle and Barry Silbert all sitting at a table with the Winklevoss twins, right? The Winklevoss twins, they had their 2017, right? Because they had the Facebook thing. So they kind of had those moments. But I'm not sure if Shrem and Eric Voorhees, Charlie Shrem and Eric Voorhees had moments like that. I think Barry Silbert was doing okay already, and surely Jeremy Allaire were. But just think about that. Can you imagine? 23 years old, you start this thing called Bit Instant because you're trying to figure out a solution to a Bitcoin exchange or Mt. Gox that was taking 7 days for people to get their 7 days. And here comes this young Charlie Shrem with an answer. You give me your dollars, I got plenty of Bitcoin. And you can now have your Bitcoin. Can you imagine? Bit Instant. But again, this is where I think we are with XRP. I think the story is going to be massive. I really, really do. I think the story behind not just Ripple, but the XRP army is going to be absolutely amazing. So I hope you guys hodl strong. I hope that you consider looking into platforms that look out for you, like the Celsius platform. Watch as many AMAs as you humanly possibly can on Alex Mashinsky. See if the business model and his message resonates with you. See if it makes sense to you to accumulate assets, hold on to the assets, earn interest on your assets because you're deserving to do so. And then if you're in a position, instead of liquidating, leverage your assets. Don't sleep on Kava and what they're looking to do. Go check out harvest.io. I think it's going to be sick. I think it's going to be pretty cool. Yeah, and you might want to look into having some stake in some Kava. You might. I'm not giving you financial advice, but you might want to look into staking some of that Kava so that you can get some of the hard tokens when they come out. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap up the string. It's been a really, really cool hangout. I appreciate you guys being here. Hackers Jackson, how are you, my friend? 416 crypto. Uh-oh. Bro, XRP is here. How are you? Good to see you. Mark Wiggles, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. Jackie33, as always, appreciate you being here. Oh, wow. Wow, really? Navy did that? Navy Federal. That's not good, bro. All right, guys, listen, thank you so much for hanging out. I'm going to end this stream like I do all my streams and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating? Or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know. That the battle for you has already been fought. And the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.